Wait a minute. Before you begin, I must ask that you pay in advance. 5 cents, please.
Art 101 with Mr. Burgher. Well, hello friends, and welcome back to another episode of Art 101 with me, Mr. Burgher, a professional artist and educator attempting to bring you the best in art historical content.
Man's best friend.
As always, I appreciate the likes, shares, subscribes. Any interaction is a good interaction.
If you try to hold my hand, I'll slug you.
Well, clearly I'm out here at home at Burgher Acres. You can check out my videos on the subject. There's a link down below. But I don't want to digress too far.
Everything I do turns into a disaster.
Right now, we're in the midst of the holiday trifecta. We've got Halloween, Thanksgiving, and the crown jewel of Christmas, the holiday season. And anytime we kind of get to that sort of season, I start thinking about all kinds of things, especially the interactions that I have with my kids. And I think back to my childhood and my youth. I can't go into a place where I'm thinking about my youth and the Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas seasons without thinking about Charles Schultz and Peanuts and Snoopy. And this little beagle here, Ramsey, is new to our home, our family. And Ramsey, a beagle, just like Snoopy, makes me think about the holiday season and Charles Schultz and all the Snoopy gang and my son playing with the dog. It's like the Peanuts cartoon all over the place. So I want to get into that a little bit. Charles Schultz and the Peanuts, and specifically his animated series that really are a part of our American television culture. As a youngster and young artist, I was very heavily influenced by Charles Schultz and his creation of the Peanuts characters. Charlie Brown and Snoopy, Linus and Lucy were just as much a part of my childhood as professional wrestling or 1980s cinema.
You blockhead!
Now, the creator of Peanuts, Charles Schultz, has 2 alter egos inside the comic. It's probably not a stretch of the imagination to imagine that Charles Schultz is Charlie Brown. Also, growing up, his nickname was Sparky. He would transform Sparky into Snoopy, and therefore Snoopy was his extrovert alter ego, while Charlie Brown was more of the reality of how he saw himself. He began making cartoons for the Ripley's Believe It or Not magazine that was relatively popular in the day. And that 1950s version of his dog, which was the main character of that comic strip, would eventually evolve into Snoopy. After high school, he would go into the Army, where he fought in World War II in the 2nd Armored Infantry. There he was on the 50 Cal team. And while serving in that team, he would help liberate the Dachau concentration camp. Without question, that would have a psychological impact on him and how he would proceed through life.
Golly, why can't I act right outside of a baseball game?
When he started becoming a professional cartoonist, he would begin by creating a strip known as Little Folks. However, there was another comic by the exact same name, Little Folks, and so he had to change his name of the comic. And without his knowledge, the editors would change the name of the strip to Peanuts, which was a name that he did not really care for at all. However, it caught on pretty quickly, and so the name kind of stuck.
Ah, good grief!
Now, with this franchise, he was the writer, the editor, the illustrator. He did everything from top to bottom for the entire strip. And he would continue all of those jobs, top to bottom, for 50 plus years. He did over 17,800 comic strips, being published in 2,500 papers, published in 21 different languages, and 75 different countries.
I just don't understand it.
So in the infancy of the strip, it began with three basic human characters, Charlie Brown, Shermie, and Patty, along with Charlie's dog, Snoopy. And as the strip grew in popularity, the other two characters, Shermie and Patty, became very subordinate characters. However, they are still in several iconic things, including their Christmas special. Over the years, he would develop a lot of different characters. They would come and they would go. Like, for example, Charlotte Braun. In 1954, he developed this character, and she was in a few strips, maybe 10, and then just disappeared because basically the public absolutely loathed her presence in the comics. And how do you loathe a comic book character? I don't know, but they did, and she disappeared.
I ought to slug you. Ugh! I've been kissed by a dog! I have dog germs! Get hot water! Get some disinfectant! Get some iodine!
Another character came in 1968 after the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. Recognizing that his Peanuts characters were predominantly white, he felt like he needed to diversify the field of children. So he developed Franklin Armstrong, the first minority character in a mainstream comic strip. Now, the characters really make the storyline, and because of the great storyline, he's received Emmys, Grammys, and Tony Awards for his ability to write these characters into really great storylines. Now, you might not recognize it, but over the years, there have been 45 different holiday specials that are featuring the Peanuts and the Charles Schultz creations. The first of this long line was the iconic Christmas special that we all know. A Charlie Brown Christmas first aired in 1965 on CBS as a special. It was rerun every year from 1966 until 2000. Beginning in 2001, the special was aired on ABC. In October of 2020, Apple TV Plus acquired exclusive rights to all Peanuts-related media and has withdrawn its presence on normal television. However, they will have a presence on the digital platform of Apple Plus for the foreseeable future.
Oh well, this commercial dog is not going to ruin my Christmas.
In the original production, the producers wanted to have a whole Santa Claus type thing, but Charles Schultz was totally against it. He wanted to have the true meaning of Christmas involved in his Christmas special. After looking at the special, the producers and the network executives thought it was too long, they thought it was boring, they thought it wasn't funny, they thought it was too hokey, but there was nothing else to fill the time, so they had to run it anyway. But they thought it would be a one-and-done type special. Instantly, the public absolutely loves this special.
This time you can trust me.
A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving was the 10th primetime animated special featuring the Peanuts characters. It was originally aired in 1973, and it would run on CBS until 2019, when it would move to ABC and then subsequently Apple TV Plus. It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown was first aired in 1966 as a primetime animation special. The Halloween special was the third Peanuts special that featured a holiday. All the specials featured the music of jazz pianist Vince Guaraldi and the Vince Guaraldi Trio. Linus and Lucy became the hallmark anthem of the Peanuts brand. Over the years, the Peanuts have become a little bit commercialized with use in corporate advertising. They've been used for a relatively short period of time at Camp Snoopy at the Mall of America in Minneapolis, Minnesota. But for the most part, Charles Schultz would only use his characters in products and things like that he was really adamant and really believed in backing.
Of all the Charlie Browns in the world, you're the Charlie Browniest.
We love that story, don't
Thanks, old pal.